Wow, can you believe man to man? If 90% of your snacks are hard-boiled eggs, clean protein shake, Greek yogurt, mixed nuts, berries, dark chocolate, you'll stop crashing, gain muscle, and have actual energy. Alright, let's play the game. Should we put this in the bank, save it, bookmark it, or throw in the trash, flush it down the toilet? And if you like these type of videos, I have a ton more of self-improvement. We can have a ton of laughs. Great time. If you like the information, don't forget to subscribe. Back to the video. Okay, let's start here. 90%. Not try this sometimes. Not add more protein. 90%. That's basically saying your snack drawer needs to look like a fitness influencer just moved in. And then the promise. You'll stop crashing. You'll gain muscle. You'll have actual energy. That's a big promise for some eggs and yogurt. Now, I'm not here to hate on it. This is what I call a performance tweet. It's built for people who want to level up. It sounds clean. It sounds disciplined. It feels like if you follow this list, your life gets way better. And I get the appeal. Simple swaps, simple foods, drastic results. It feels like a cheat code. But here's a real question. Is it really that easy? Or does it just look disciplined? Because there's a difference. Aesthetic discipline looks good. It's the guy posting berries in a glass bowl with sunlight hitting it just right. Real discipline is boring. It's consistency when no one is watching. Now let's be honest. Everything on this list is solid. Eggs, good protein shake, easy way to hit your numbers. Greek yogurt, high protein, filling. Mixed nuts, healthy fats, berries, fiber and vitamins, dark chocolate, a little treat without going overboard in your calories. Nothing here is bad. So why does this not automatically fix everything? Because energy doesn't just come from snacks. If you sleep 5 hours a night, eggs won't save you. If you stay up scrolling until 2 a.m., berries are not going to come and save your life. If you don't train hard, protein won't magically turn into muscle. That's the part these tweets skip. They make it sound like eat clean, become machine. But your body's more complicated than that. Let's talk about crashing. A crash usually happens when your blood sugar spikes and then drops fast. So yeah, eating more protein and fiber can help stabilize that. That part is completely true. But if you're drinking sugary coffee, skipping meals, stressing all day, and then overeating at night, the snack list isn't your main problem. You guessed it, it's the pattern that you're eating in. The pattern is what keeps you consistent. When you eat how much you eat, how well you sleep, how hard you train, how stressed you are, all that matters. You can eat perfect snacks and still feel tired if you're under eating. You can eat clean and still feel weak if you never push your body in the gym. You can eat dark chocolate and still feel brain fog if you're dehydrated. Food helps, but it's not magic. Now here's something interesting nobody talks about. When you switch to snacks like this, something bigger happens. The person you become is different. You're not just someone who's eating eggs. You're becoming the guy who eats eggs. You're not just drinking a shake. You're becoming a guy who tracks protein. And identity is powerful, but here's the danger. If you think the food alone makes you disciplined, you'll focus on looking locked in instead of being locked in. You'll post the yogurt, but skip the workout. You'll buy the nuts, but still scroll all night. You'll say you're on the grind, but your habits won't match. That's aesthetic discipline. It feels productive. It looks productive, but it doesn't go deep enough. Real discipline is understanding why this list works. Protein keeps you full, fiber slows digestion, healthy fats prevent spikes, less sugar equals fewer crashes. Now you're thinking strategically. Now you don't need someone's grocery list. Maybe you don't like egg. Maybe yogurt upsets your stomach. Maybe you're bulky and need more carbs. When you're understanding the principles, you can adjust. That's when you level up. And let's talk about gaining muscle. You don't gain muscle from snacks. You gain muscle from progressive overload, from pushing heavier weight, from recovery, from time. Protein supports it. It doesn't replace it. So if someone eats this list but never trains hard, nothing crazy happens. They just become a slightly healthier version of tired. Here's the truth most people won't say. A lot of people don't actually want real energy. They want the feeling of doing something productive. Buying healthy snacks feels productive, but going to bed on time, hard. Training when you don't feel like it, hard. Drinking enough water, boring. Consistency, very boring. The tweet gives you a clean starting point, and I like starting points, but don't confuse a starting point with a full system. If you want actual energy, build a stack. Sleep, hydration, training, balanced meals, stress control. Then the snacks become support, not the solution. So is this list good? Yeah, it's solid. If 90% of your snacks looks like this, you'll probably feel better than if they were chips and candy. But the real upgrade isn't just swapping food. It's understanding how your body works. It builds habits that don't rely on hype. It's moving from copying lists to building systems. Because once you understand the system, you're not chasing energy anymore. You're creating it. Alright, let's break this down even more. The tweet says most of your snacks should be hard-boiled eggs, protein shakes, Greek yogurt, mixed nuts, berries, and dark chocolate. And if you follow that, you'll stop crashing, gaining muscle, and have real energy. Before we get too hype, let's see what this list actually gets right. First, high protein snacks like eggs, yogurt, and shakes really do help your blood sugar stay steady. When you eat sugar heavy snacks, your body spikes and crashes. You feel like a roller coaster all day. Protein slows that crash down so you don't feel wiped out 2 hours after your snack. That's real. You don't need to overthink it. Protein is like a little break for your energy, keeping things smoother. Second, the combination of protein and fat also slows digestion. That means you feel full for longer. Those mixed nuts and Greek yogurt aren't just tasty, they're actually keeping your stomach happy so you don't raid the fridge 20 minutes later. It's like giving your energy a buffer. You're fueling your body in a way that sticks instead of burns fast and dies. Third, Greek yogurt and eggs are great for keeping you satisfied. It's not just about calories, it's about feeling satiated, and that's just a fancy word for not feeling hungry all the time. When you're not consistently craving snacks or binging on chips, your mind and body have more focus for everything else: work, school, the gym, or just life. That's why smart snacking isn't just about muscle, it's about control. Fourth, these are mostly whole foods: eggs, berries, nuts. Your body knows what to do with them. Compare that to an ultra processed snack that has a million ingredients you can't even pronounce. Whole foods reduce inflammation and make your system run smoother. You don't notice it day to day, but over weeks and months, your body starts thanking you. Your digestion feels better. Your skin might clear up. Your workouts feel less brutal. Small wins you can feel. Fifth, steady energy actually makes a difference in more than just how awake you feel. If you aren't crashing mid-afternoon, you're sharper at work or school, you can focus better, you're more present in conversations, and when it's time to train, your body actually has the energy to lift heavier or go longer. Protein and smart snacks aren't magic, but they set the stage for you to perform better, mentally and physically. So let's pause for a second. This isn't hype. You don't need to overanalyze or panic about missing a snack. These are principles. High protein, good fats, whole foods, these stabilize your body. That's science. That's reality. And it works whether you're a beginner or someone who's been lifting for years. This is exactly why on my page, I focus on habits that actually work. Not crazy diets, not flashy life hacks, just the stuff that makes your body function better over time. Protein, whole foods, timing, training, that's what we break down. So if you want more videos like that, go and watch a couple of them. They're on the channel. Okay, back to the tweet. The list is simple, but simplicity works. You don't need 50 snacks or a perfect meal plan. If 90% of what you grab between meals looks like this, you're already ahead of most people. And the more consistent you are, the better you feel. It compounds. It's small changes stacking over time. Think of it like a snowball. Each smart snack keeps your blood sugar stable. Each time you don't crash, you don't overeat. Each time you have enough energy, you train better or focus better. After weeks, your body feels more alive. That's how these simple swaps really pay off. Now, a quick heads up, the list isn't the full answer. Protein shakes won't replace sleep, berries won't make up for stress, eggs won't fix bad habits, but they do make the others work easier. They're like putting high quality gas in a car. It won't fix a broken engine, but it keeps the system running smoothly. Again, videos like this on my page, go find it. So the takeaway, the tweet isn't lying. It's not magic, but the foods listed, they're solid. Science-backed options that help you stay steady, feel good, and perform better. They reduce crashes. They make your muscles happy. They give you actual energy. And if you start thinking beyond just eating these snacks, you get the real win. You think about your schedule, your sleep, your hydration, your stress, and your training. The snacks are support. They're part of a bigger system. Master the system, and you're not chasing energy, you're creating it. Finally, let's keep it simple. Track your meals for a week. Notice how protein and whole foods affect your focus, energy, and hunger. Experiment. Make it part of your lifestyle. Small wins compound. That's the real takeaway. So yeah, this list works, but the smarter move is to understand why it works, then making it your own. That's when you're not just eating smart, you're thinking smart. And that's how real energy happens. Alright, we just went over the tweet about snacks, eggs, protein shakes, Greek yogurt, nuts, berries, and dark chocolate. And yes, the list gets a lot right, but let's zoom out and see what it misses. Because snacks alone don't make or break your energy, your body, or your progress. First thing to know, total daily calories matter more than snack quality alone. You could eat the perfect snacks all day and still gain fat, or feel sluggish. If you're eating too much or too little overall, snacks are part of the system, not the whole system. High protein snacks help, but if your meals aren't balanced or your portion sizes are off, the effects are smaller. That's why tracking overall intake, even roughly, makes a big difference than just focusing on one food list. Second, portion size is sneaky, especially with things like nuts. One handful of almonds is great. 3 handfuls, now you're adding hundreds of calories without realizing it. It's easy to think nuts are healthy, eat all nuts, but they add up fast. The same goes for protein shakes. Convenient, yes, but too much and it's extra calories you didn't account for. The takeaway, it's not just what you eat, it's how much. Awareness is key. Third, sleep impacts energy more than berries or protein shakes ever will. You could have the cleanest, most perfect snacks in the world, but if you're getting 5 hours of sleep a night, your energy will crash, your mood will tank, and your workouts will suffer. Sleep is the foundation for everything: energy, recovery, focus, and even how your body uses nutrients. Snacks are a tool. Sleep is, you must treat it like that. Fourth, hydration affects crashes more than protein shakes too. Being even a little dehydrated can make you feel sluggish, lightheaded, and unfocused. Water is simple, free, and it works. Drinking your shake or eating Greek yogurt is helpful, but it doesn't replace water. Keep it bottled with you. Sip consistently, and your energy will stay steadier. This is why a lot of people feel energy from snacks, when really it's just water they weren't drinking before. Fifth, sustainability matters more than perfection. The tweet says 90% of your snacks should be these foods, which is fine in theory, but strict rules can create burnout. If you feel guilty for going off plan once, you'll resent the routine and eventually quit. The real win is building habits that fit your life long term. If 70 to 80% of your snacks are good, you're already ahead of most people. The number is less important than consistency and sustainability. So why does this deeper view matter? Because it shows you're thinking about the system, not just a checklist of foods. The science behind protein, fats, fiber, and micronutrients is real, but you need to combine it with calories, sleep, hydration, and consistency for real results. That's how you stop crashing and maintaining energy without obsessing over every snack. Now, again, if you like fitness and nutrition and stuff like that, there's videos on my channel. Go check them out. Thank you. Alright, back to the snacks. The list is solid, but remember, one snack won't make you ripped or energized for life. It's about the patterns around those snacks, how many calories you eat in a day, whether you sleep enough, if you're hydrated, and whether you can actually stick to the habits over time. That's what separates people who look and feel good from people who try for a month and burn out. Here's another perspective most people miss. It's tempting to think that the perfect snack list is a shortcut, but in reality, it's a support tool. You still need training, movement, and life habits aligned. Protein shakes after workouts aren't magic, they just support what you already do. Greek yogurt isn't energy by itself. Your energy comes from a combination of habits that include your meals, activity, and recovery. Let's also talk psychology for a second. Focus on one perfect list can trick you into thinking you're winning without actually improving your life. You eat the right snacks and think, I'm crushing it, while skipping sleep or drinking soda all day. That's why understanding the systems matters more than memorizing food lists. You're aiming for progress that lasts, not short-term wins or social media validation. Finally, remember the big picture. Snacks like eggs, nuts, berries, and yogurts are tools, not the answer. Combine them with the awareness of calories, sleep, hydration, sustainability, and you've got a system that supports energy, muscle, and health. Miss one component and the snacks alone won't carry you, but nail the system and you'll see real consistent progress without obsessing over every handful or scoop. So yes, the tweet is helpful, but don't treat it like gospel. Look at your full day, your habits, and your consistency. Alright, so we just talked about what snacks get right, what they miss, and why focusing only on foods isn't enough. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger pattern. What this snack list actually says about discipline, identity, and high performance. Because it's not just eggs, yogurts, and berries. It's a window into how winners think and operate. First off, high performers reduce decision fatigue by having default choices. Think about it. Every time you walk into the kitchen, you're making dozens of small decisions. Do I eat chips, pizza, or something healthy? The more decisions you make, the more mental energy you drain. That's why lists like this matter. When your snacks are pre-decided, eggs, nuts, protein shakes, you eliminate those small battles. Your brain can spend energy on bigger, higher stake decisions like work, dating, or your next move in the gym. This is how habits support identity. You're not just eating well, you're training yourself to operate at a higher level. Next, food is identity. Every time you choose a healthy snack over a junk one, you're reinforcing who you are. I'm someone who eats like this. I'm someone who invests in energy and performance. The statement may sound small, but it compounds over time. When you consistently make choices aligning with the person you want to be, it changes your internal narrative. Suddenly, you don't have to think about being disciplined. It's automatic. You are the type of person who prioritizes energy, focus, and long-term performances. Now let's connect it into masculinity and discipline. Discipline and nutrient isn't just about calories and macros. It spills into dating, business, and the gym. When you can consistently show up for yourself with boring, everyday actions like eating well, you train your brain to follow through in other areas. Showing up at the gym, easier. Following through on work tasks, easier. Maintaining composure in social situations, easier. Consistency builds internal authority, and the internal authority is attractive, effective, and self-reinforcing. Energy management matters more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel pumped, other days you feel lazy. But when you set your life up with default habits, snacks, sleep, hydration, training, you don't rely on motivation. You're running on systems. You manage your energy without thinking about it. This is the secret behind peak performance. High value men aren't only motivated. They don't waste energy deciding what to eat, how to train, or when to work. They've automated the basics so their focus goes to high leverage actions. Boring consistency beats extreme diets. A lot of people get obsessed with perfect rules or fancy hacks. The keto smoothie, the zero carb challenge, intermittent fasting for 10 hours, and then burn out after a week. The real winners don't chase extremes. They commit to simple, repeatable actions over time, eating your 90% clean snacks, tracking portions reasonably, and showing up at the gym most days is far from powerful than the flashiest, most complicated routines. That consistency compounds into results that feel effortless compared to sporadic streams. Now let's tie this back into identity and lifestyle dominance. Your food choices are a mirror of your self-discipline and personal standards. The guy who's crushing dating, business, and fitness aren't doing it by luck. They're trained their internal system. Their energy, their focus, and their follow-through all start with tiny, repeatable decisions, like picking the right snacks or drinking enough water. If you can master these boring basics, you create momentum that carries into bigger, higher stakes areas of life. So when you see a tweet like this snack list, don't just see eggs and berries. See the mindset behind it. These aren't random foods. They're a microism of discipline, energy management, and identity building. Every time you reach for a high-protein snack, instead of candy bars, you're telling yourself, I am a man who shows up. I value my energy. I follow through. Those tiny repeatable wins stack into lifelong habits that separate average guys from high performers. Think about it. Every area of your life can be designed like this. Gym, consistency over heroics. Work, system over stress. Dating, energy and presence over hype or manipulation. Food, daily choices that reflect who you are becoming. The pattern repeats, and it starts small. The boring stuff is where the power lives. So next time you see a list of perfect snacks, don't just take it literally. Ask yourself, am I using this to build my identity? Am I training my brain to operate at a higher level every day? That's how you turn simple, clean nutrition into a broader framework for masculinity, discipline, and lifestyle dominance. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently, managing energy, and making small, repeatable choices that align with the life you want. If you want deeper breakdowns on energy, identity, and habit systems, stuff that actually sticks and scales into other areas of life, that's exactly what I focus on my page. No hype, no gimmicks, just clarity systems and follow through. At the end of the day, your snacks aren't just food. They're a small but powerful reflection of who you are and who you're becoming. Nail that and everything else becomes easier. Alright, let's get real for a second. We've talked about what snacks are optimal, what they get right, what they miss, and how they tie into identity and discipline. Now I want to make this personal because this is where a lot of people struggle. And it's not because they don't know what to do, it's because habits are hard, life gets messy, and choices aren't always about knowledge. They're about context. So I want to ask you first, what do you grab when you're stressed? Be honest. Maybe it's a candy bar, maybe it's chips, maybe it's just whatever's convenient in your fridge. Most of the time, the crashes you feel, the lack of focus, the low energy, it doesn't come from ignorance. You already know that candy and soda aren't ideal. You already know protein, eggs, nuts, berries, and yogurts are better. But life gets in the way and convenience wins. That's human. Don't beat yourself up. Think about your morning after a late night. You wake up tired. You grab something quick, probably high sugar or ultra processed, because your brain is tired and convenience feels like a lifeline. Then you crash mid-morning. Your energy dips, focus disappears, your mood takes a hit, and the cycle repeats. That's not laziness, that's biology, plus environment, and it happens to almost everyone trying to level up. Here's the thing that a lot of young guys miss. Small swaps create momentum. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to suddenly be a perfect clean eating machine. One clean snack, just one, is already a win. Grab a boiled egg instead of a candy bar, a handful of mixed nuts instead of chips, a Greek yogurt instead of a chocolate muffin. That one choice sets off a chain reaction. You feel a little more energy. You make slightly better decisions for your next meal. Your mental clarity improves, and slowly, without even thinking about it, you start stacking wins. Let me share a personal story. There have been mornings where I was exhausted, stressed, and just wanted the easiest thing I could reach. In those moments, grabbing a protein shake instead of a sugary latte felt like a tiny victory. Almost meaningless at first, but it wasn't. That one choice gave me steady energy, helping me avoid snacking out of stress, and made me more focused in the hours that followed. That small win multiplied, and after a few weeks of these tiny victories, I realized the bigger change wasn't my snacks. It was the confidence of me following through, even when I felt tired or stressed, that leveled me up. The lesson here is simple. It's okay to start small. You don't need to hit 90% clean diet immediately. One better choice is enough to start momentum. One snack that stabilizes your energy is already progress. And when young guys see someone talking about protein, eggs, and nuts, it can feel intimidating. Like, I'll never be perfect. Don't fall into that trap. Perfection isn't the goal. Momentum is. Now let's be real about late nights and sugar. Those two alone can ruin the morning. Stay up too late gaming or scrolling social media? Crash. Eat sugary snacks at 11 p.m.? Crash. And suddenly the rest of your day feels harder. Your gym session is worse. Your work or school focus is gone. Your confidence takes a hit. So one of the most underrated hacks isn't complicated. Sleep enough, hydrate, and make one clean snack choice when you wake up. That one choice starts stacking wins before your day even really begins. This is why habits and environment environment matter more than willpower. You can't rely on motivation or discipline every single day. That's exhausting. But you can rely on setup. Keep clean snacks visible, have a bottle of water ready, plan small protein hits, and automate decisions so your brain doesn't have to fight fatigue and stress at every meal. That's how real people, not Instagram models, build energy and consistency. Here's a key takeaway for this. It's human, it's relatable, and it's repeatable. You're going to mess up. You're going to grab a candy bar. You're going to skip a gym session. That's life. The difference is noticing what triggers those things and choosing the next small action consistently. Grab one clean snack, even if it's just a boiled egg or a handful of nuts. That's already a win. That's already stacking your energy, your discipline, and your confidence. So I want you to reflect for a second. What do you reach for when stress hits? And more importantly, what's the one small change you can make right now that makes the rest of your day easier? That's the power of personal reflection. One action, one swap, one clean snack at a time. That's how you start winning without overthinking it. Remember, no one becomes a high performer overnight. You start with one small, consistent choice, then another. And suddenly, what once felt impossible, steady energy, better focus, improved gym sessions, become your normal. That's the human, relatable, and real part of leveling up. Alright, let's take a step back. We talked about clean snacks, energy discipline, and how small choices stack over time. You probably notice a pattern. I don't focus on hype tricks or quick fixes. That's not what I'm about. And it's not how real people level up. This is exactly why I've been talking a lot about discipline as identity, not motivation. A lot of guys think energy comes from some secret hack, like a pre-workout, a smoothie, or a supplement. But here's the truth. Energy comes from structure, not hacks. You get real, steady energy when your life has basic systems in place. Sleep, nutrition, training, hydration. All of it stacking in a way that makes your body and brain operate efficiently, without thinking. That's what separates someone who crashes mid-afternoon from someone who moves through their day consistently. And it's not just about the gym. Energy shows up in every part of your life. The way you carry yourself, your confidence, all of it is fueled by structure. When you move through your day with steady energy, people notice. You show up more consistently. You engage better. You command attention without trying. This is why I say attraction starts with how you carry yourself, not just your words, your moves, or what you look like. That's where my work comes in. I break down systems that don't just make your physique better, they make your presence better. You'll notice a difference in how you feel, how people respond to you, and how confident you are navigating social situations. And the cool part, it's repeatable. You don't need a gimmick. You don't need to hack your life. You just need structure, habits, and awareness. Let me give you an example. Take two guys with the same gym routine. One follows a system consistently, eats enough protein, and manages to sleep. The other is inconsistent, crams nutrients into random times, and sleeps poorly. Over time, the first guy looks better, feels better, and even his energy during social interaction reflects that. He's calm, present, and people are drawn to him. That energy turns into attraction presence. It's not magic, it's method. And it's just for men focused on dating. It applies to work, friendships, and personal growth. Structure affects how you show up everywhere. The same principle that gives you stable energy at the gym helps you stay sharp at work, handle stress better, and make smarter decisions. Discipline as identity doesn't make you rigid or joyless. It means you own your life, your time, and your energy. I also want to address something important. This isn't a buy my course moment. I'm not asking you to follow a link, sign up, and hand me money. This is about positioning. I want you to see the connection between energy, discipline, presence, and understand why I focus on those things in my content. It's about giving you clarity, not pressure. You take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and apply it to your own. So if you want someone to help you with your eating habits and nutrition and some workout routines you can do, fill out the Google